My sister booked her wedding on the exact same day as mine, and our parents toasted to it like it was the punchline of the year. The restaurant went quiet for half a second, then erupted in laughter. Clinking glasses. Mom wiping tears of amusement from her eyes. Dad raising his tumbler. To our girls, always keeping things interesting. I sat perfectly still, index finger circling the base of my wine glass, the condensation cold against my skin. Across the table, Elise tilted her head, honey blonde waves catching the candlelight. "You're not upset, right, Mara?" Her voice was sugar-laced with razor wire. I met her gaze. Smiled the smallest, politest smile. "Why would I be?" They took the nod as permission. I took it as a deadline. Silence had been my first language. At 9 I learned it the hard way. Elise was auditioning for a national toothpaste commercial. The whole house smelled of peppermint and hairspray. I stood in the hallway holding the spelling bee trophy I'd won that afternoon, first place, school record. Mom never looked away from the camera light on Elise's teeth. When the crew finally packed up, Dad ruffled my hair without reading the engraved plate. "Nice job, kiddo. Now help your sister practice her lines." I slipped the trophy into the bottom drawer of my desk. It stayed there for 11 years, next to every report card, every honor roll certificate, every quiet victory I never dared wave in anyone's face. High school brought the boyfriend. His name was Julian. I told Elise his favorite song while we painted our nails on her bedroom floor. 2 weeks later she posted a photo of them at the homecoming dance, captioned, "He finally asked." When I asked why, she shrugged. "You weren't going to make a move. Someone had to." Mom's verdict the next morning over oatmeal. "Boys like Julian go for sparkle, sweetheart. You're steady. That's a gift too." Steady. The polite word for invisible. I skipped the university dream. Elise's theater program was an investment in her future. Mine could wait. So I started as an administrative assistant at Pinnacle Financial, filing claims, answering phones, becoming the person everyone trusted to remember deadlines. 9 years later I was senior operations coordinator. People above me signed the checks. I made sure the checks happened. Then came Caleb. Kind. Funny in a low-key way. His father owned Pinnacle. When Caleb proposed on a quiet rooftop with city lights below us, I said yes without hesitation. For once the future felt like mine. Until Elise's call 3 months before the date. "Hey babe," she chirped. "Guess what? Noah and I finally locked in the venue. October 14th, same as you. Isn't that hilarious?" The line crackled with her laughter. I pressed the phone harder against my ear. "Same day," I echoed. "Yeah, but yours is super intimate, right? Courthouse vibes." Another giggle. "All our cousins are coming to mine anyway. You understand." I stared at the wall calendar above my desk. 2 red circles on the same square. My pen hovered. "Of course," I said. The words tasted like metal. After she hung up, I didn't cry. I opened my laptop and logged into the company intranet. Draft company-wide subject, formal invitation, Caleb Whitaker wedding. Attendance strongly encouraged for all directors, VPs, and key account managers. Black tie optional. Venue details attached. I saved it. Then I called the venue manager. "Yes, we're keeping October 14th, I told her. "But we'll need the Sapphire Ballroom instead of the Garden Suite." A pause. "The Sapphire seats 320 comfortably. Are you expecting a larger party?" "Significantly," I answered. The next 8 weeks were a masterclass in quiet execution. Excel sheets. Seating charts. Caterer upgrades. Live jazz trio pulled from the corporate holiday roster. Personal invites hand-delivered to every executive floor. Caleb's father, quietly amused, made one phone call to the managing director. Word spread like frost on glass. Elise kept posting. Venue tours. Bridal fittings. #wedding of the year hashtags. Our mother sent me links. "Isn't her dress stunning? You'll come early to help with centerpieces, right?" "I'll be occupied," I replied. "Occupied?" Mom laughed nervously. "It's her day, Mara." "I know, I said softly. That's why I won't be there. October 14th arrived sharp and clear. I stepped into the Sapphire Ballroom at 11:15 a.m. Ivory linens. Crystal everywhere. Low strings warming up. Caleb waited at the altar in midnight blue, looking at me like I was the only person in the building. Across the complex, in the smaller Emerald Room, Elise's side started with 37 guests. By 12:30, 32 of them had received urgent texts. Apologies, family emergency. Stuck at the office, big client issue. So sorry, something came up. By the time we said I do, the Emerald Room held 17 confused relatives and one furious bride. Our cocktail hour had just begun when the double doors opened. Elise stormed in first, mascara streaking, gown trailing like a fallen flag. Mom and Dad behind her, faces grey. Noah last, tie loosened, phone still clutched like a lifeline. The room didn't freeze. It simply noticed. Caleb's father rose from the head table. Voice calm, carrying effortlessly. Interesting timing, he said. I wasn't aware we'd invited extra guests. Elise's mouth opened, closed. But, these are our people. Why are they all here? Mr. Whitaker tilted his head. Because it's my son's wedding. A beat. And Pinnacle considers family business very seriously. Cameras flashed, 2 lifestyle bloggers Caleb had quietly invited. Elise spun toward Noah. You said she wouldn't care. Noah stared at the sea of tailored suits and diamond cufflinks. I didn't know who his father was. The staff appeared like magic. Polite. Firm. Perhaps it's best if we continue this conversation outside. As the doors closed behind them, a ripple of soft laughter moved through our room. Not cruel. Just relieved. I lifted my glass toward Caleb. He touched his to mine. No toast. Just the small, private clink of 2 people who finally understood the weight of being seen. Later, when the last guest left and the chandeliers dimmed, I stood alone on the balcony. City lights glittered below like scattered coins. I thought about the little girl who used to fold trophies into drawers. About the woman who learned that silence isn't weakness, it's architecture. Somewhere across town, another ballroom sat nearly empty. I didn't need to see it. I could feel the echo. And for the first time in 31 years, the silence didn't hurt. It belonged to me.